coming to the stage. She's awesome. I can't wait to hear her. Heather Sturgis, everybody.
So there are times in your life that you'll meet somebody and you will instantly connect with them. It's kind of like love at first sight, where you get this crush and you want to spend all your time with them because just being around them fills you with joy and you just feel completely comfortable. That's how I felt when I met my friends Danny and Mary in high school. And by the time we were seniors, I was just completely in love with them. We probably didn't spend every day together, but it felt like we spent every day together, especially that summer going into freshman year of college. And I'll be honest, I never really cared what we did. I just loved spending time with them. Even if we were just driving around or going to a diner, that was literally the best thing in the entire world for me. So we all go off to different colleges, but we stayed close, especially me and Mary, because Danny was always off on some awesome adventure during school breaks. Somewhere around junior year, Mary just disappears. She stopped returning phone calls, emails, or IMs. It's AOL Instant Messenger, if you remember that. Nothing dramatic, she just was no longer there. But Danny and I were still really close, but I would be lying to you if I said I didn't feel the hole that she left in our friendship, especially the first year or two. So me and Danny graduate college and we're both home, and I'm like, well, I don't have a plan. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess I'm just gonna hang out. And Danny's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do either. I'm gonna go to New Zealand for a year, because why not? And I'm like, what? You're going to Middle Earth? You gotta take me with you. And he's like, you know what? Instead, why don't you visit? And that's what I did. 11 months later, I made the 28-hour flight, felt like a lot longer, to the South Island of New Zealand. So our plan was to take this road trip around the entire South Island. A lot of times in life, you will imagine things, and reality just sort of lets you down. But New Zealand not only met my expectations, it exceeded it. It is literally breathtaking. Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movies are not lying. There's no CGI up in that bitch. It is literally that beautiful. And as gorgeous as it is from the car window, the really luscious places that you need to go to are kind of a pain in the D to get to. They involve hiking over through these rocky, rolling hills that are filled with sheep because there's so much sheep there. It's 1,000 to 1 to a person. And a lot of times on these hikes, Danny would just leave me in the dust. Now, I'll admit I was slow because I was overweight and out of shape, but also I have a fear of falling. And I always thought it was a fear of heights, but in fact, I'm not afraid of the height. I'm afraid of falling the fuck off of that height. So it's not even ground, so I'm moving carefully and purposefully because I don't want to fall and hurt myself. So one of these little sites that we go to, we take our nice little walk through this temperate rainforest, and we get to a suspension bridge, and my stomach drops, and my initial response to fear kicks in, which is, nope, nuh-uh. I don't want him, I'm not gonna do it. And then Adventure Heather kicks in and goes, you're in New Zealand, don't be a little pussy about this. So I'm like, okay. And to Danny's credit, I have to say he really helped me get across the bridge, one way, but really helped me across that bridge. So we get over, we see this site, which just ended up being a super blue pool of water, take our little photos. And on the way back, Danny did his one good deed and decides he wants to run across this bridge bouncing the entire time. Looked like it could be a lot of fun. He was having a great time. I'm standing on the platform fit to be tied because I am in the starting stages of one of the biggest panic attacks that I've ever had in my entire life. I start walking and I'm gripping onto this rope that acts as a handrail. And this rope's about nip level. As I'm going, with each footstep, the rope's getting lower and lower And as it's getting lower, my footsteps are getting heavier and more difficult. Until I get to the middle and the rope not only drops below my waist, but it drops like the top part of my butt. And it's a big butt, so that's a lot of distance. And I just freeze. And I become completely overwhelmed with this visceral fear. And I remember fighting this instinct of just going down on my hands and knees and crawling. Because logically I knew that was stupid. That's a stupid response, but it was just my instinct. And I remember closing my eyes and giving up and giving into the fear. I could feel my knees start to lower and my spine curl over, and then I just heard this voice in my head go, "Don't you go down. Get up. Move." But the weird thing is that voice was Mary's. So here I am in the middle of New Zealand having a full-blown conversation with my subconsciousness. But I'm really scared. I can't do this. "Yes, you can, Heather." "No, Mary, I can't do it." "Yes, you can, Heather. You gotta move." So I listened to the voice in my head and I started going. Now, I'm not alone at this part, by the way, just so you know. And as I am nearing the end, somebody else comes down the suspension bridge and decides he's going to do what Danny did, which is running and jumping and bouncing and having a great time. And he's doing that, and I'm flying over this thing because each bounce is knocking me off balance. And I'm like, "I can't do it, Mary, I can't." And she's like, "No, Heather, you got to keep on going forward." And sometimes you just really need to listen to those voices in your head. This is one of them. I don't know why I heard her voice, but in that moment, it was everything to me. Danny and I are still really close, and I actually talked to him on the phone on Monday. And we're both going through like really tough, shitty times in our lives right now. And I told him that there are a lot of times, especially in the last 2 years, that I have allowed fear to shut me down to a crawl in my mind, my body, and soul. And that's when you need to hear that voice outside of you say, "Get up, move." And yeah, once you get the courage to start moving, some asshole, it's usually the universe, is gonna knock you the fuck off your balance. But we both kind of agreed that the only choice that you ever have is that decision to keep moving forward.
They've all worked really hard. One more time for Heather.